It's the Mortgage Hour, courtesy of First Republic Mortgage Bankers. Call them right now. Loan officers are standing by at 718-380-0006. Call First Republic Mortgage Bankers right now for all your purchasing and refinancing needs.
Purchasing seminars, and one of the things, and church seminars, and other types of groups, religious or not, they're not. We are having one in Connecticut this coming weekend, and we're going to try to get in touch with the Reverend so he can talk about the benefits he feels this brings to his congregation. But what I want to do is I want to reach out there to those leaders of religious or non-religious organizations who would like to have the benefit of having free information that's very, very critical to empowering your congregation. Whether it be learning how to fire your landlord, learning the fact that almost half of all tenants can do it with the help of a direct lending mortgage banker, aggressive mortgage banker that gets our message direct to the people, like First Republic. Whether you'd like to learn how to help your people get out of those credit card traps that they're in. A lot of homeowners, lots and lots of homeowners are house rich and cash poor, and they got a lot of credit card debt, and they're really being taken advantage of, and it's very hard for them to achieve any worthy goals. And a lot of it's education. It really is a lot of education that we focus on, because I've looked and I've studied the market over years, and I've seen that in the marketplace there's a almost majority, but let's say almost a majority that can achieve certain things utilizing the programs that my bank offers. We have a large number of tenants, almost half, who can buy a home. They can fire their landlord with all the great programs that are around, great grant programs, government-backed programs that are available. And those people out there who own homes, who are house rich, cash poor, what's going on right now is there's just so much negative hype surrounding mortgages and the real estate. You can't turn on the radio or TV and not hear about the real estate fiasco. You can't subprime meltdown.
What is this negative hype doing for the industry? What is it doing? In your own words, what is this doing?
I think it's highlighting the excesses of where the industry went to just so far. I mean, the pendulum always swings back and forth from easy credit to tighten credit always does that over time. Over 23 years I watched it a lot, but this time it swung the furthest ever swung towards being liberal. I mean, you had 100% programs. People didn't have this. All they had to do was state their income and assets.
2 years ago, though, about a year and a half ago.
And people were getting into houses. What was happening is, unfortunately, these programs, although they did a good thing by giving a lot of people the opportunity to own a home who normally would not have before, they say the default rate on these loans is 13%, and that's not a good thing. That's high, but they don't talk about the 87% of people who got those loans, who are making their payments, who are refinancing before their payments go up, and have benefited by becoming a homeowner because of those programs. But it highlights the excesses, and you know this with just like with the stock market, with the irrational exuberance.
Yep.
That's what happened, because there was so much liquidity on the stock market that they were gobbling up anything.
Yeah.
And they wanted to buy anything. They had so much money to work with. They were looking for anything. So these subprime pools got bought and sold, and the marketplace became diluted. And of course, prices of houses got fueled by the fact that it was so easy to qualify.
Right.
Now, where do we stand today? And what does it mean? Well, a lot of the players that were players are gone. A lot of the mortgage brokers that popped up like mushrooms because things are so easy are gone. They're gone. They don't. I mean, how many?
They don't even exist.
I'm not going to count the number of mortgage entities that had been on this station and are gone. Entities that played themselves off as if they were a bank, but they weren't a bank. They were a branch of another bank in New Jersey. You know who I'm talking about, but you don't hear them anymore.
You're bad. You know that?
What?
You're a bad person. You're a very bad person, man. You're an extremely bad person.
You hear other people.
But I will pretend we didn't hear any of that,
Seriously, they're gone, right? I mean, they were talking big, right? Talking big, dirt talking other people, like good, hardworking mortgage bankers like myself. Because I happen to think that my wife's husband has the best mortgage bank for you. But of course, that's only because I'm very friendly with my wife.
Right.
But the bottom line here is, First Republic, throughout all the last 13 years that we've been in business, and even going back further, you heard from John Fahim. I did an FHA mortgage for him back when I was a branch manager on Hillside Avenue in Jamaica, and John Fahim bought a house in the area.
So you know the community very well.
And I know the product, okay? What people have to understand is I understand the government-backed loans because I've been doing them from way before they were popular. Now, throughout this entire subprime crisis, you and I would get on the radio, and we would talk about how people should go with a government-backed loan before they put into subprime, and how mortgage brokers could not offer that government-backed program. Therefore, they were at a disadvantage, and they pushed people into subprime. Bottom line, I could go on and on and on about this. The bottom line is that we haven't changed at First Republic. The government-backed programs, do you think the FHA program changed just because subprime blew up? No. It's the same. Actually, they've gained market share. FHA throughout the whole country has gained market share. Why is First Republic gaining market share? Because we're experts at government-backed programs. Not just FHA, which is my personal favorite because it helps so many people who really could be, behind the eight ball as far as their credit and their credit score, still help them to be able to do a mortgage. We also have Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Well, Scott, how many times have I called you up sporadically, okay, and say to you, Scott, a gentleman called me, a lady called me, and they said that you said that now is not the right time for them to go for this specific program. They should go back and wait 3 months and do X, Y, and Z and then come back. And they called me and say, well, we went over to John Tom and John Tom said we can do it. And I said, Scott didn't say he can't do it. He just said that he does not believe it's the right time for you to go with such a program. Because back when it was very liberal, just about anyone could buy a property. But what happens
especially with the 228 program?
Right. And what happens when that could potentially hurt? Where did this come from? That could potentially hurt not just them. It could hurt your bank. It could hurt quite a few people.
Your entire neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. And you've said, no, it's not the right time. Okay? In another 3 months, another 6 months. And that's what I love about the First Republic Mortgage Bankers Loan Officers. They will not lead you down the wrong path. They're going to say, no. You don't want to do that. And you're going to say, but I want this house. Anxiety. Do you know how much time anxiety has been used against us? You remember you teaching me about anxiety and the property back a few years ago? People, be careful. Anxiety is a hell of a thing. You see this nice house, you hear this nice deal, and you run for it, and you jump, and you sign, and so many bad things happen within the next year to 2 years. Do the right thing. Get educated by First Republic Mortgage Bankers. Speak with the loan officers. They're under mandate from Mr. Scott Siskin, the president, the loan officers, to do the right thing. And let me tell you something. If they don't do the right thing, don't let that yelling voice on the radio fool you. He can be a little bit more shrewd. He will can them. They won't be around. They're gone. Finis, complete, done, bye-bye, see ya.
Well, that's what makes the difference with First Republic. Listen, we've been around for 13 years, and I started with people that I had known already for 10 years to start the business. But we're way ahead of where we were, obviously, 13 years ago. You know the expression, you kiss a lot of frogs along the way before you find your princes, like your John Fahims, your Tony Shafiqs, your Sandys, all the other guys that we have right now. Are all
princesses for us, man.
Okay.
No prince thing.
You're gonna kiss it? Have you kissed any frogs?
No, I haven't kissed any frogs.
You have. I've watched you kiss some frogs.
What frogs?
People who used to work here.
It's terrible, man. You know what? Let's continue, man.
But the bottom line is we have a great core group, and that's why I'm proud to have them on the radio so that you can hear what they sound like, so you can hear John Fahim. And no, John Fahim can be reached right now at 718-325-5555.
In the office across from you, man.
And bottom line is the biggest side effect of the subprime hype is it is causing people who can. First Republic Mortgage Bankers is a licensed mortgage banker, direct lender in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Florida, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Maine. Headquartered at 110 Jericho Turnpike, Floral Park, New York. Don't forget to tune in to the early ride home every Monday from 5 to 8 o'clock. And also every single day to the Winner's Circle from 11 to 12 on Link Up Radio.